Yeah, welcome to Teacher Mvanga's YouTube channel, Facebook channel. Like the page Teacher Mvanga, also like Vokanzi Tuitions, like the video on YouTube, and subscribe so that and hit the notification button. More videos can be given. This video is going to look at a very interesting topic in mathematics called variations. Variations. Okay, so it's an exam-based video, so not all the components. I'll try by all means to touch all the components, things that we need to know before we look at exam questions. Okay, we'll do exam questions from 2016 all the way going upward and so on and so forth. So the things that we need to know under variations. By the way, I always pray before I start my session, so apologies for the other videos where I do not pray. It's because we're doing this at a faster rate. Okay, shall we pray? Dear Lord, help us to be focused with what we're going to do. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. I'm a Christian, so this is my routine. All right, so we need to know that the word vary, okay, or the word variation in mathematics means the change of a variable due to the change in the other what? Variable. So if I have y will change because x is also changing, okay? So y is changing, x is changing. So variations, vary means this symbol. It is stand for vary. So y is varying, x is also what? Varying, okay? So that is the notification that we need to know. Remember, this symbol stands for varies, okay? Then we have different variables. We can have y, you can have x, you can have different things that you can have different letters. You can have v, you can have w, you can have so a, you can have b, you can have c. All those can represent what? Variables, okay? Can represent letters. The other thing that you need to take note is direct functions, okay? Not functions, it is variations. You know, the previous video that I made was functions, so mine is not yet that way. All right, so you need to pay attention to direct variations. So direct variations, we're talking about variables changing at the same pace, okay? Take note of y varying at the very go with the x. Variables are moving at the same time. So the other thing you need to take note is that combining these two, we'll be using equal. Y equal x. Then we'll be putting the letter k. K means constant. Okay? In every variation question in an exam, it will be having a k immediately after the equal to show you the variable that is connecting the two, the constant of variations. It will always be there. Take note of that. I've mentioned. That is direct variations, okay? So you can have one letter, you can also have such, maybe k, x, and v, like that. Meaning, y varies directly as x and v, okay? It's not always y. You can have x varying directly as y. So take note of that. Then on the same variations, take note of square. Y varies directly as a square. So as a square means putting a 2. Maybe as a square of x, we put a 2. As a square of a, we put a square like that. The other notification is a cube. Y varies as a cube of 3. Cube of x. Cube means to the power 3. Okay? To the power 3, to the power 3, to the power 3. So you'll be seeing situations like y is equals to kx squared. It means y varies as a square of x. Okay? Y varies as a cube of x. Something like that. Let's talk about square root. They will say y varies as a square root of x. So meaning to be y varies as a square root. Square root means this symbol. This symbol stands for square root. Then we put that. If they say y varies as a cube root of x, then they are talking about K. I said K will always be there. It is a constant of variation, trying to show the connection between the two. So cube root is this symbol. You put the 3 here, which is a cube, and the x inside. Okay? So take note of those things under direct variations. The other type of variations, we are correcting things that we need to know before we start solving exam questions. Okay? Before we start solving exam questions. Take note of the other type of variation is inverse variation. Inverse variation. Inverse variations, ladies and gentlemen, it gives you to say variables are not moving at the same pace. Okay, they are differing. This one is ahead, the other one is behind. How do they look like? Y varies. Since they should differ, y will be on top, x will be down somewhere here. Okay? Because they are varying inverse, they are not at the same pace. So put an over 1 here to show that, yes, this is the inverse of that. Then we'll always put a k. K will appear inside there. Then we say 1 times this, then it will give you y is equals to k over x. Okay? So inverse variations, inverse equations, one will be down. The one with inverse will be always down, 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 down. So you can have x varies as inversely of y, meaning you have k over y, like that. So my equation is inverse. So we can have y, that situation, over x. We can have y varies as the inversely. Y varies inversely as a square of x, meaning we have something like this, x squared. Y varies inversely as a cube root, or as a cube of 3. It's like that, as a cube of x, sorry. Then the other one, we can have y varies inversely as the square root. So we have k over inverse, k imangala pamwamba. Okay? As maybe something like square root of x, something like that. Y varies inversely as a cube root. It will have something like that, as a cube root of x. So that is about inverse variation. Sometimes you can have what we call joint variation. So inverse is about my equations. Joint variation. Okay? Where you've got 2 more variables. Okay? They can say y varies directly. Y varies directly as x and a. So that means that it will have k, a, c, something like that. Those are joint variations. Sometimes they'll say y varies inversely as x. Okay? Inversely. Or y varies directly as x, so it will have k, x, and inversely as v. So the one for inversely will be down. These are called joint variations, where you have this and that. Now, after having corrected all these, let us look at exam questions now. So, you can write exam questions. So, we'll do as many exam questions as possible so that we try and see how we can deal with this. We've corrected the information that we need. You know, Zambians, I'm trying to say this to all the Zambian teachers who are doing tuitions, who are doing that. Let's not have jealousy of what others are doing. Let's recommend them for the job that they are doing. So I'm one person, I'm one teacher who wants to see other teachers develop in a very good, diverse manner. So I am recommending my colleagues, Mr. Chandra Floyd, for having producing this small booklet which has all the past papers that we are using. Okay, guys, keep it up. We have your back. Us as Ukanzi Tuitions, we are also trying our best to teach our students what they understand using your booklets. Okay, so that's how we need to do. We need to build one another, not whereby they are producing this, we stop tuitions, we also start producing this. No, we may not know how they are doing it and the like. So we shouldn't start doing what others are doing to compete with them. No, but let's concentrate and perfect what you are good at. As we are good at offering intensive tuitions, okay, we are not good at producing booklets. Then they are good at doing this. So let them do that. So guys, we recommend you for that, and please buy them where it will be easy for you. So make sure you have this so that you understand. Alright, so I'll start with 2016. So let's go to 2016. Look for question, let me be quick. Look for question 16. Not 16, those are functions. Look for question 20. Question 20, look for the past papers. Question 20, they are saying, if you can't just follow my voice and then keep repeating the video until you write the whole question. It is given that W varies as the square of X. You can write those questions, guys. I don't have much time. It is given that W varies directly as the square of X and inversely as Y. That is a joint variation. Question A. Write an expression for W in terms of X and Y and a constant K. Nicely. B. If X is equals to -6, Y is equals to 12, and W is equals to 15, find K. C. Find the value of Y when X is equals to 8 and W is equals to 20. I've set out these questions, so write them down. Me, I'm just beginning solving. They are saying it is given that W, so you write W varies, that is a symbol for varies, directly as a square. I mentioned directly they will have the same line. They are moving at the same pace. Directly as a square of X. Square means this letter over there, a 2 on top, and inversely as Y. So meaning inversely we will be moving at a different pace. It will be down here, so it will have Y down there. Okay? Now this varies can now come out and write the normal equations as W is equal to, let's bring in K. So K will be replaced that X squared over Y. That becomes the equation which is going to connect the expression X, Y, and K. So question A is done. Okay, let's go to question B. Question B they've given us X is equals to -6, Y is equals to 12, and W is equals to what? 15. We have this equation. They want us to find what? K. We need to replace. Okay? We need to replace. On W, let's put 15. There it is. On K, let's leave it like that. This means times. Okay? Times. Our X has been given -6 squared. You can put a bracket like that. By the way, this is Zambian syllabus paper 1. So no calculators allowed. I'll show you some tricky things that you can do to make your life easy. There it is. Now let's simplify this, ladies and gentlemen. Let us simplify this. So our 15, proceed, you can say over 1. Then -6 times -6. Here it is like K -6 times -6. That's the meaning of square over what? 12. Let's proceed. Over 1 is equals to K. 6 times 6 is 36. That's not 36 kwacha. Negative, it's positive. Over what? 12. Make your life easy. 12 can enter this. Okay? 12 can enter that 3 times. So this now becomes 15 is equals to 12 into this, it will give you 3. Okay, you can put it the other side now. No need of being it in front. Over 3, over 3. The one you just multiply that. This into this into that. So our K equals this into this, it will give us 5. So your K is 5. Your K is 5. C. So I hope you are following how these things are being solved. Hope you are following. Alright. Find the value of Y when X is equals to 8 and W is equal to, always remember, the equation is what is important under variations. Your first equation was W is equals to K X squared over what? It is what you'll be using to find everything. that will be asked under your questions. So see Bakamakuti, find the value of y when x is equals to 8 and w is equals to 20. W has been given 20. Your x has been given to be 8. Please, ladies and gentlemen, replace. What you have is y is equals to, this is question C, k x squared over y. Can you replace w with what you are given? 20. K, you found what? 5. So you say 5 times, when two letters are joined in mathematics like this, it means multiplication. X has been given, ladies and gentlemen, to be squared there. Y is what we are looking for. When there is a fraction in mathematics, make the other side a fraction. Can you cross multiply? 20 times y to give you 20y. Y, 1 times this to just give us 5. I mentioned 8 squared. What does it mean? 8 times 8, not 8 times 2. To start writing 8 times 2. This is the power, you say 8 times 8. Okay. So 20y is equals to, you can do some magic here. 5 times 8. It will give you what? 40. Then 40 times what? 8. To give you 3 what? 320. Pamba, you can do 5 times this to give you 48. This 0. This 32. So this is a 320. Or you can say 5 times, 8 times 8, 64. 64 times 5 will give you still 320 over 20 over 20. Cancel, cancel. Then your y. Don't panic yourself to start 20 into this. Cancel the zeros. How many times can you? 2 enter 3. It is 1. Remember 1. Put it on 2. It becomes 12. This into this 6. So your answer becomes 16. Okay. Let's try the next paper. 2017 July. I'll just be tackling those that are easy. That are hard. If it is easy, I'll be skipping. Let's go to 2017. 2017 July. Let's check. Let's check if it is hard or tricky. Nothing is hard. Just a matter of finding out. Very good. It's a perfect question that I was looking for. You are given a box. So it is got y, x, 2, 16, 8, and 1. Then you've got 8 over 9 with a. The question says, those who don't have questions, it is saying, the table below shows the relationship between two variables, x and y. It is given that y varies inversely as a square root of x, where x is positive. Draw that table. Then question A, write an expression for y in terms of x and the constant of variation k. B, find the value of k. Number 2, find the value of what? A. So let's do that one. Copy the questions, reverse the video, and then copy the questions so that we can begin. Let us begin. You have to form an equation. In conclusion, for all these variations, an equation is important that you are going to use to solve all the questions that are being asked here. Where do you solve, or where do you get the equation? From the question. The table below, it's saying, the table below shows the relationship between two variables, x and y. It is given that y varies inversely. Let me write something here. It is given that y varies inversely as square root of x. This is how we form the equation, ladies and gentlemen. Try by all means to understand the example. It is given, look for key letters, y, x. It is in the example first. So the first letter in the whole sentence begins the equation. Next, K is the word. What is the key word? Directly or inversely? It is inversely. Inversely means the other letter will be down. So you say over. What is the key? Square root. Do you know the symbol for square root? Yes. From the notes that we are saying is square root x. If they said cube root, you will add here. Okay, and remember, so some weights they will come out like that. So that becomes the equation. Of course, there are those who know mathematics, you may want to add, but why didn't you begin with y varies as 1 over inversely square root of x? Yeah, that's true, but I just keep that so that people can have the full idea of how the overall equation will come out to be, and this becomes the answer. Okay? Done. So this is question A. Quickly, copy it. It is done. Let's go to B. It is what we will be using to solve everything. You know, I'm a very energetic teacher, so I'll be solving with energy so that you see what is happening. Copy that. Take note of it. It is what we'll be using to solve. Alright. Now, B is saying, find the value of K. We need to find K from this. Y is equals to K over square root of x. You have to replace from the box. You need to get where numbers are appearing. Both here there is a 2, there is a number. You can get these 2, or you can get the other 2. The answer will be same. Let's prove. Let's pick the first 2. So my y is 2. I'll replace here with 2. K is what I am looking for. Here it is square root. X is so vienda so x is 16. Then we will say 2 is equals to K. What is the square root of what? 16. It is positive and negative what? 4. But let's pick it positive 4 in that case. So you do the cross multiplication. This times this, our K will be what? 8. Where did 8 come from? 2 times 4. If I decided to pick, you can pick any 2 numbers that are appearing, provided they are matching. This goes with that, this goes with that. You can't pick 2 and 1 or 8 and 16. Okay? If we don't want this 2 and 16, we'll pick 8 and 1. How is it going to be? It will be y is, in this case, it will be 8 equals to K, it is there. Square root of x, our 1. What is the square root of 1? It is 1. Cross multiply. Your K is equals to what? 8. You've got same answers. Let's go to question B2, where we need to find A. We need to find A. This A. We have to use the very equation y is equals to K over root of x. Check. Our y in this case in the line it is 8 over 9. So we are going to say 8 over 9. Yatoka put 8 over 9 in the table here. Muka face 8 over 9. Here, K, we found it as 8. E, the square root. Get sakira of x. Let's cross multiply. Okay? We are going to say this times this, it will give us 8 square root of x is equals to 8 times 9 times 8, it's 72. Okay? Over 8. Over 8. Cancel, cancel. So we are going to say square root of this is equals to this into this to give us 9. Okay? We want to get rid of the square root. We want x. So square root, for you to get rid of it, you apply the square and the square this side. So you cancel this, you cancel that. X is equals to the square of 9 is 81. That becomes the answer. Don't confuse it with this. X squared is equals to 9. If you've got a square, you apply the square root, the inverse. Okay? Cancel this, cancel this. X is equals to what? Positive or minus 3. In a situation that you are like this. If you were in a situation where it was saying the cube root of this We could have said cube root, cube root, cube root. Cancel that, cancel that. Then we could have said 9 times 9 times 9, like that. If you had x cubed is equals to 9, we could have said, or x is equals to 8. We could have said cube root, cancel that, then the cube root would have been 2. But we don't have such situation. So I have solved 2. Please try by all means to solve the other one that you can manage onward. I've just shown you an example of how things can turn out to be. Okay? How things can turn out to be. Let me jump, I try some 2020. Since the booklet I have ends up to 2020, the Canon is solving it quickly, that 2020 that was given in this thing that I have. Where is it, Naena? Where are you? Don't do this to us. Guys, I can't see 20. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't see. Okay, let me try from this other one. Hey. 2020, that's a very good question. No. Don't disappoint my people. Question. 17, 18, 19. Okay, I found it. Yeah, it took some time. So search for 2020 November. 2020 November. It had a very good question. They said it is given that y varies directly has cube root of x, and inversely as square. So it has two things, square of z. So write the question, those who don't have quickly, I don't have much time. It is given that y varies directly as a cube root of x and inversely as a square of z, and y is equals to 2 when x is equals to 8 and z is equals to 4. Find k, the constant of variation, the equation connecting x, y, and z. See the values of z when that is equals to that. So this is, I don't know if you can see that, you can see that, you can see that, you can see that, you can see that. That's a question. Okay, that is a question once more. Okay, let's get to it quickly. Remember, I mentioned that the first letter of your equation, you need an equation, okay? You need an equation. The first letter of your equation, it is the first letter. It is given that y. So our equation will be y varies directly as a cube root. Cube root means that x with a 3. That is cube root. And inverse, which means down here, square of z. Square means with a square like that. Okay? So equation now become y is equals to first k, then cube root that over. So once this video cuts, just know that look for another video, and thanks for watching like that. So I'll continue until it cuts because I have little time with me. Alright, so that is the equation connecting everything. So they are saying find k, the constant of variation. So our first question, we'll use numbers in the question or numbers in the statement. Our y has been given to be 2. We've been given these numbers. Y is equals to 2, x is equals to 8, z is equals to 4. So our y is 2. We'll put 2 here. It's what k we are looking for. The cube root of x, which is 8, over z, it is 4 squared. So we are going to say over 1. 2 over 1 is equals to k, the cube root of 8. Number that we can multiply 3 times to get 8, it is a 2 over 4 times 4, 16. This is not 2 quarters. So we are going to cross multiply. Okay? This into that. Or this times this, it will give us 32. So we have 32 is equals to K2, not 2 quarters over 2 over 2. Cancel, cancel. So our 16 is equals to K. Correct? Quickly, that becomes our... Hey, we'll be using this. Don't forget this. The example 7 says to solve everything that we have. So this gives us K there. So our K is 16. The equation connecting x, y, and z. So our equation is this. We just need to replace K. So K is 16 cube root 3x there and z squared. Whenever you found K, it is the equation that will connect everything.